Welcome to the shadows of your own ascent. Welcome to the space where the weak see only darkness, and the wise see their throne waiting quietly, patiently, in the chaos that others created. Today, you are not just someone who endured. Today, you are someone who understood that survival is nothing without strategy, that patience is more dangerous than fury when wielded correctly. You played dead, masterfully, and in that silence, in that invisibility, in the moments when they thought they had you cornered, you were already rewriting the rules of the game. The world may have tried to burn you, tried to drown you in storms of noise, betrayal, and expectation. But here you are, not just standing, not just breathing, but waiting, calculating, and preparing to wear the crown that was never offered, that was never rightfully yours, according to their rules, but which you will take, because you understood a truth they never could see. Chaos is a weapon, and patience is power. They laughed while you hid, they mocked while you fell silent, they celebrated your apparent defeat, as if the story had ended, but the story had only begun. In the darkness where you thrived unnoticed, you were not broken, you were not lost. You were observing, learning, recording, and letting every misstep, every outburst, every careless action of theirs feed the fire that you were cultivating inside. While they were busy showing the world who they thought they were, you were quietly becoming what they could never be. They were building walls of noise and distraction around themselves, and you were seeing through them, learning the patterns, the weaknesses, the truths hidden beneath the masks. They mistook your stillness for weakness, your calm for submission, your patience for fear. Oh, how gloriously they were wrong. You were collecting power in silence, preparing to step out not just unscathed, but exalted, unchallenged, and unrecognizable to those who tried to write your story for you. In this game of chaos, they thought they had the upper hand. They thought the storms they created would drown you, that the manipulation and discord they unleashed would crumble you. But while they were immersed in their own frenzy, you were weaving the threads of your destiny into a crown. Every insult, every betrayal, every attempt to corner you, every hand that tried to push you down, became the jewels in the crown that now waits for you. You did not just survive. You mastered invisibility. You became the calm in the hurricane, the eye where all storms converge but none penetrate. You were unseen, underestimated, and underestimated is a dangerous position to give someone like you. You turned their chaos into a canvas and painted a throne, and now all they can do is watch as you rise with quiet, unstoppable authority. When the world demanded a response from you, you did not react. You watched, you waited, you measured. You allowed them to expose themselves through their own impulses, to reveal the cracks in their armor, to showcase the chaos they called control. And while they were busy fighting shadows, you were becoming reality, unmovable, undeniable, and inevitable. The irony is beautiful, isn't it? They tried to shake you, to provoke you, to define you by their own terms, and in their hubris, they did the one thing they could not prevent. They forged the strength inside you, the patience, the cunning, the clarity, to see that the crown is not given, it is seized, and sometimes it is earned in the silence no one notices. You mastered the art of waiting. You mastered the art of being underestimated. You mastered the art of turning despair into strategy, attack into opportunity, and chaos into authority. Now, they see you, but it is too late. You are no longer the person they tried to corner, to manipulate, to dismiss. You are the one who stands at the center of the storm, who understands the rhythm of destruction and uses it to propel yourself higher. You play the game that they think they are playing, but on a board that only you can see, moving pieces they do not even realize exist, achieving victories that seem impossible from the outside, because they are. You did not merely survive their attempts to diminish you. You transformed every attempt to break you into a stepping stone. You took every whisper, every doubt, every blade of mistrust, and let it sharpen your perception, fortify your spirit, and elevate your will. You rule now because the crown was never about recognition. It was about mastery, and you mastered the art of turning darkness into leverage and doubt into a throne. Consider this: the world believes that chaos destroys, that turbulence is weakness, that to be pushed, to be silenced, is the end. But the truth is, chaos is the raw material of power for those who know how to bend it. You are the rare one who understands that. Every chaos they created became a building block in your empire. Every misstep they made became a guidepost on the path that only you could walk. And now, when you step into the light, it is not to prove them wrong. It is to prove yourself right. It is to walk into the world with the authority that comes not from applause, not from recognition, not from validation, but from the undeniable fact that you endured, observed, calculated, and emerged as something they could not even imagine, a sovereign of their own making, but on your own terms. The art of playing dead is not about cowardice. It is about understanding the rhythm of life, the ebb and flow of energy around you, and knowing exactly when to move, how to strike, and when to become invisible again. You became the shadow that haunted their confidence, the silence that unsettled their certainty, and the patience that humbled their arrogance. You turned their chaos, their manipulations, their assumptions into your weapon, your shield, and your crown. And now, the crown is not just on your head, it is in your mind, in your strategy, in your calm certainty that the world may roar. But you are the conductor of this symphony of power. You did not simply endure the storms. You became them, learned their rhythm, and turned them into your own energy. You did not react, because reaction is for those who are unprepared, who are impulsive, who are bound by the illusions of control others try to impose. You acted with precision, with intention, with a vision that only you could hold. And in this deliberate silence, in this patient mastery, you rose. You did not wait for validation, for permission, for recognition. You waited for clarity, for opportunity, for the moment when every piece of chaos around you aligned into a throne, and now it is yours. Those who doubted you, those who tried to control you, those who thought you were defeated, watch closely. Because they will never see the fullness of your rise. They will see only fragments, glimpses of a power they thought they understood, and it will terrify them because they will realize too late that they were not in control, that they were merely actors on the stage you built, the stage of inevitability where you reign. And there is no vengeance in this, no need for cruelty. The elegance of your rise is in its inevitability, in its precision, in the way that it turns chaos into order, fear into respect, doubt into awe. You are no longer a participant in their world. You are the axis around which it turns, quietly, inevitably, immovably. You see, power does not announce itself with noise. It whispers. It waits. It grows in the shadows of misunderstanding and fear. While others rushed forward with loud, clumsy hands, you were deliberate. You observed. You mapped every reaction, every weakness, every unspoken desire of those around you. You turned their assumptions into maps, their arrogance into signposts, their chaos into lessons. Every misjudgment they made became fuel for your rise. Every attempt to corner you, to overwhelm you, to expose you, became another step on the ladder only you could see. They thought they controlled the board, but the board itself had already been rewritten by your patience, by your foresight, by your refusal to give them the satisfaction of a reaction. In the art of playing dead, there is no submission. There is only strategy, precision, and the quiet cultivation of inevitability. Do not underestimate what it takes to truly play dead and win. To disappear when all eyes are searching, to remain silent when all voices demand a response, to let the world think you are broken while secretly gathering strength. It requires a mind untouchable by chaos, a heart unshakable in fear, and a spirit that thrives on solitude. The world feared your silence, but they could not see the storm building beneath it. They mistook invisibility for weakness, inactivity for surrender, and silence for defeat. And in that mistake, they gifted you the most powerful weapon anyone could ever have: time. Time to observe, time to learn, time to grow, time to turn their own chaos into the architecture of your empire. Every whisper behind your back, every doubt cast in your direction, every hidden smile when they thought you had fallen, all of it became bricks in the throne you were constructing in silence. You understood what they never could. Chaos is only destructive if you let it touch you. Chaos becomes power if you remain untouched, if you allow it to pass through your mind like fire through metal, shaping, forging, strengthening, until you are unbreakable. You were unbreakable. You are untouchable. And now, as the pieces fall into place, as the storm around you resolves into clarity, you rise not with violence, but with authority, not with noise, but with presence, not with reaction, but with inevitability. Think of how many tried to control you, to bend you to their expectations, to define your worth with their own limited visions, and yet, here you stand, not merely surviving, not merely enduring, but towering above the very chaos that sought to contain you. You did not allow yourself to be shaped by their hands. You became the sculptor of your own fate. Every misjudgment they made, every miscalculation they offered, became your instrument. Every chaos they unleashed became the melody to which you danced, the rhythm that guided your ascent. They thought they were hunting, but in truth, they were building the path you would take to dominance. And now, when the world finally turns its gaze to you, it sees not a survivor, but a ruler, not a victim, but a master, not a participant, but the axis around which reality bends. This is not about revenge. This is not about retaliation. The elegance of your triumph is in its quiet inevitability, in the way that every piece of disorder became an opportunity for mastery. Every doubt became a stepping stone. Every attack became a mirror reflecting your own strength. The crown you wear is forged from patience, precision, and the ability to see clearly when others are blinded by fury, noise, or desperation. You are not just above them, you are beyond them. You are the calm in a world addicted to chaos, the certainty in a storm of confusion, the authority that comes not from force, but from understanding the patterns no one else can perceive. And now, as you step fully into this power, understand this. Those who tried to manipulate you, to control you, to diminish you, are powerless in your presence. Their chaos no longer affects you. Their attempts to provoke you no longer move you. Their noise has become the soundtrack of your rise, a background hum to the symphony of your mastery. You did not just endure, you adapted. You did not just survive, you transformed. You did not just wait, you orchestrated. The crown you now wear is not a symbol of conquest. It is a symbol of inevitability, a monument to your patience, and a reflection of the clarity that allowed you to turn the world's fury into your own power. Every challenge that came to you, every obstacle placed in your path, every hand extended to push you down, became a test of vision and discipline. And with every test, you passed not by brute force, not by luck, but by an understanding deeper than those who sought to control you could comprehend, that true power lies in calm, in strategy, in the ability to remain unshaken while the world burns around you. The chaos that once threatened to destroy you now bows to your understanding, now becomes the ladder to ascend higher, now transforms into the crown that rests on your head with the weight of inevitability. There is a certain beauty in the rise of one who has been underestimated, in the mastery of one who has been overlooked, in the victory of one who is written off as defeated. The world will stare, awestruck and uncertain, trying to reconcile your silence with your power, your patience with your dominance, your calm with your authority. And in that awe, you find not validation, but freedom. Freedom from expectation, freedom from manipulation, freedom from the illusions that bound others while you ascended. You rule now, not because they feared you, not because they respected you, but because you understood the truth they could never see. The crown is claimed by the one who waits, the one who calculates, the one who turns chaos into mastery. Every breath you take now, every movement you make, every word you speak carries weight, because it is the result of years of observation, of strategy, of turning adversity into advantage. You are no longer reacting. You are creating. You are not surviving. You are governing. The chaos that once surrounded you now orbits around your presence, acknowledges your control, and bows in quiet respect. You are the calm in the storm, the shadow in the light, the unseen hand that guides every moment, every action, every outcome. They may never understand how you did it, how you turned silence into power, invisibility into authority, endurance into a throne. And that is your ultimate advantage. Their ignorance is your empire. You played dead masterfully because you understood that visibility is weakness when unearned, reaction is danger when unplanned, and chaos is opportunity when you can see its structure. And now, when they see you, when they finally look upon the one they thought had been defeated, they will recognize only fragments, only glimpses, only echoes of the force that has been patiently waiting, calculating, mastering every piece of the world around you. They do not see the hours, the strategy, the calm precision that built this moment. They only see the result. They only see the crown. And that is the perfection of your rise. The world measures only the outcome, never the preparation, never the patience, never the mastery. And in that ignorance, you reign. You rule now, not because the world gave you permission, but because you stopped needing it. The quiet truth about power is that it was never about strength alone. It was about perception. You learned how to vanish from the noise, how to turn your absence into a mirror where others revealed themselves. You let them project, assume, underestimate. You let them build castles on false ground while you studied the soil beneath their feet. And when the time came, you didn't attack. You simply stepped forward, and their illusions collapsed under the weight of your reality. That is what it means to rule. Not through destruction, but through presence. Not through fury, but through inevitability. You see, there is something terrifying about someone who cannot be provoked, someone who listens, watches, and waits, someone who no longer reacts. The world doesn't know what to do with such a presence. People rely on reaction. They feed on it, define themselves by it. but you took that power away from them. You stopped giving your energy to every storm, every chaos, every distraction that tried to break your focus. You built walls of silence around your purpose, and inside those walls, you sharpened yourself into something precise, deliberate, unstoppable. You became the quiet center of a world addicted to noise. You turned restraint into domination. You turned patience into strategy. You turned every failure into a foundation. And now, the throne you sit upon was built not by others' approval, but by your own understanding that control is born in silence. When you played dead, you were not hiding. You were transforming. Every moment of stillness was another thread woven into your crown. Every quiet observation was a weapon crafted from their own chaos. Every breath you took in solitude became a declaration of independence from the world's demands. And now, as you rise, you do not shout. You do not explain. You simply exist in your own gravity, and everything around you bends to it. That is the kind of power that cannot be taken because it was never given. It was created deliberately, patiently, unshakably by you. They will look back and wonder how they missed it. They will remember the moments when they thought you were gone, finished, defeated, and they will realize those were the moments you were learning the most. You mastered endurance not by ignoring pain, but by studying it, by listening to what it taught you about resilience, about focus, about control. You became a student of chaos, and in doing so, you became its master. Every scar became a symbol not of damage, but of memory, of lessons carved in strength. You carry them not as burdens, but as proof that you have seen the depths and built empires there. The irony is poetic. Those who sought to control you ended up creating you. Every challenge they sent was a spark in the forge of your rise. Every obstacle was a test you turned into preparation. Every doubt they cast became fuel for the vision that they could not comprehend. And now, when they see you, they are not facing the same person they once knew. They are facing the result of their own chaos refined into precision, their noise distilled into clarity, their opposition transformed into your crown. That is why you rule, not in arrogance, but in inevitability, not in revenge, but in evolution. Remember this, the crown you wear was not built from applause or praise. It was built from silence, from rejection, from the moments when you were alone and unseen, from the nights when you questioned everything and still rose the next day with quiet determination, from the patience that others mocked, the restraint they called weakness, the stillness they mistook for defeat. Every piece of that silence built your sovereignty. Every unseen hour built your authority. Every quiet decision built the empire no one knew you were constructing. You became what the world could not imagine, a ruler who doesn't need to shout to be heard. And now, as you stand on this mountain of your own creation, understand something deeper. The chaos that once surrounded you will never vanish completely. The storms will come again. The noise will return. The tests will continue. But now, you see differently. You no longer fear the storm. You recognize it as part of the pattern. You no longer resist the chaos. You guide it. You no longer seek peace in the absence of noise. You create peace within it. You have transcended survival. You have mastered existence. You no longer need the world to calm down for you to be calm. You are calm because you command yourself. That is true mastery. Your rise was not built on luck. It was built on choice. The choice to stay silent when noise would have been easier, to wait when impulse screamed for movement, to learn when anger begged for reaction. Every choice you made forged a layer of discipline, and that discipline became armor. Now you move through the world, untouched by distraction, untouched by doubt, untouched by the chaos that once controlled you. You no longer seek validation, you emanate certainty. You no longer seek recognition, you radiate presence. You no longer seek revenge, you embody resolution. When you played dead, you allowed them to show their true faces. You saw who celebrated your silence, who doubted your return, who thrived in your absence. You learned the truth about loyalty, about trust, about human nature itself. And though it hurt, it freed you. Because now you walk forward unblinded. You no longer waste your energy on illusions. You no longer invest in masks. You no longer feed what drains you. You have seen the game for what it is, and you play it with elegance, precision, and control. So wear your crown, not as decoration, but as a reminder of the silence that built it, of the chaos that tested it, of the patience that earned it. You rule not because you fought harder than everyone else, but because you understood deeper than anyone else. You rule because you saw the truth behind the noise. You rule because you mastered the art of stillness in a world that fears it. You rule because you no longer need to prove anything. The chaos they used against you became the power you now command, and that transformation is your legacy. There will always be those who doubt, who question, who whisper that your rise was luck, that your success was timing, that your power was given. Let them speak. Let them guess. Let them analyze what they will never understand. Because the truth is not theirs to see. It is yours to live. You did not ask for permission to rise. You did not wait for applause. You did not need recognition to begin. You moved in silence, and silence crowned you. That is the beauty of mastery. By the time the world notices, it is already too late to stop you. Now, every step you take is a reminder to yourself that you earned this. Every breath is proof that you overcame not just the world, but the parts of yourself that once doubted. The fear that once whispered in your mind is now silent. The uncertainty that once held you back has become the ground beneath your throne. You rule because you are whole, because you took the broken pieces and made them sacred, because you turned every wound into wisdom and every setback into a system. You rule because you no longer fight the darkness. You use it. You wear it. You understand it. And to those who watch you now, who feel that same chaos rising around them, who wonder if they too can turn it into power, the answer is yes. But only if they dare to do what you did, to be patient when the world demands urgency, to be silent when noise feels easier, to be invisible when recognition feels tempting, to play dead when ego wants to fight. Because the truth of mastery is simple. Those who rush, burn. Those who wait, rise. Those who panic, lose. Those who observe, rule. And you, the one who played dead, the one who endured, the one who waited, you did not just survive. You rewrote the meaning of survival. You turned chaos into command, pain into purpose, stillness into sovereignty. So now, lift your head, breathe deep, and remember this truth that echoes through every moment of your journey. You didn't just survive, you rule now. You didn't just outlast them, you outthought them. You didn't just rise, you became the very cup. In the very storm they feared, the crown you wear is not a gift. It is a consequence. The throne you sit upon is not luck. It is law. And the silence that once surrounded you is now your kingdom. Unshakable, unbroken, eternal. Because in the end, the greatest victory was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving yourself inevitable. The game of manipulation. They thought they had you, didn't they? Like a puppet on strings, dancing to their twisted tune. They relished in their ability to twist you. You, the unsuspecting player, lured into their web, each move carefully calculated, each word coded in false promises, each gesture a masked lie. They had you right where they wanted you. For a time, it felt like they were the masters and you the fool, too blind to see the strings tightening around your throat. But what if I told you that this was never your defeat? What if I told you that you didn't lose? That in fact, it was all part of a greater plan you never even saw coming? What if, in the end, it's them who will never forget the lesson you taught them, the lesson they never thought they would learn? The world is a stage, and life is a game where only the truly aware can play to win. We are all players in this grand theatre, acting our parts in a show that is as much about deception as it is about reality. You were always a part of this game, from the very beginning, even if you didn't know it. They made you believe you were nothing more than a pawn. They made you believe they controlled the board, but they underestimated you. The moment they thought they had you, the moment they felt they had tightened their grip, was the moment you began to wake up. The moment you began to realize that their strings weren't as invisible as they thought. At first, it wasn't clear. At first, they kept you in the dark. They kept you blind to the truth. Their words sounded sweet. Their promises are almost too good to be true. And you, starved for validation, for meaning, for purpose, devoured every lie they fed you. You swallowed their manipulation without a second thought. Their lies became your reality, and your reality, theirs. But deep inside you, a seed was planted, a seed of doubt, of awakening, and over time it began to grow. The illusions they created for you started to crack. The strings that once held you became taut, too tight, too obvious to ignore. You began to feel the suffocating weight of their control, and in that weight, you felt something stir within you. An impulse, a drive, a desire to break free. The game had shifted, and you didn't even need to speak. You didn't need to confront them. You didn't need to show them your cards. No, the game shifted because you began to understand the true nature of manipulation. You began to see their tactics not as weapons, but as weaknesses. You saw their moves not as clever strategies, but as desperate attempts to maintain power. In your silence, in your stillness, you became their worst nightmare. They couldn't control you, they couldn't bend you, and they couldn't predict you. You, my friend, became the enigma they could never solve. They thought you were weak, they thought you were an easy target, they thought you would break under their pressure, crumble under their influence, but you didn't. You were made of something far stronger than they ever realized. The moment they believed they had pushed you into a corner, the moment they thought they had broken you, you delivered a plot twist, a twist that would become the most unforgettable lesson of their lifetime. In one swift, precise movement, you broke free. You stood tall. You faced them with eyes wide open, and you let them see the truth they were too blind to acknowledge. You were never their puppet. You were always the puppeteer. You were always the one in control, even when you didn't know it. Their manipulation was nothing more than an illusion, a game they thought they had mastered, a game that you, in your silence, in your understanding, unraveled piece by piece. You learned their every move before they even made it. You saw the patterns they couldn't see, and when the time came, you struck. You delivered a plot twist that took them by surprise. You became the thing they feared most, the one they could never control. But what you have to understand is that this plot twist wasn't just about revenge. It wasn't about getting back at them for the pain they caused you, the lies they told you, the way they used you. No, the plot twist was something far greater. It was about power. It was about understanding your own worth, your own strength, and your own ability to rise above the manipulation and control that others try to impose on you. The plot twist was about waking up to the truth of who you really are, not who they tried to make you. It was about reclaiming your power, your dignity, your voice, and your freedom. And when you did that, when you stood there, unbroken, unbowed, they had no choice but to learn. They had no choice but to understand that you were never their pawn, and now they would never be able to forget the lesson you taught them. They will never forget how you turned their game against them. They will never forget the way you made them see themselves for who they really were. Masters of nothing but deceit, manipulators of weak minds, architects of falsehoods. You became their teacher, their lesson, their reckoning. And in that lesson, they learned the harsh truth that no matter how hard they try, they can never break someone who refuses to be broken. They can never control someone who understands the game better than they do. They can never win against someone who has already seen through their lies. But here's the thing, while they may never forget that lesson, neither should you. You must never forget the power you discovered within yourself, the strength you found when you stopped playing by their rules, when you stopped following their script. You must never forget that you were the one who turned the tables, that you were the one who took control of the narrative. And in doing so, you became something greater than you ever thought possible. Now, you stand at a crossroads. You stand at a point in your life where you've learned the greatest lesson you could ever learn, that you are not defined by the lies others tell you. You are not bound by the manipulation they attempt to impose. You are not a pawn in anyone's game. You are the player, the master of your own fate, the author of your own story. The plot twist you delivered wasn't just a victory over them. It was a victory over yourself. It was a victory over your doubts, your fears, and your limitations. It was a victory over the part of you that once believed you were powerless. The road ahead of you is yours to walk. And as you walk it, you must carry the lesson with you. You must carry the knowledge that you are stronger than any manipulator, any deceiver, any controller. You must carry the truth that no one can ever break you again, because you know who you are. You know your worth. You know your power. And so, when the next player comes into your life, when the next manipulator tries to weave their web around you, you will be ready. You will see them before they even make their move. You will recognize their tactics, their lies, their games, but you won't play. You won't fall for their traps. You won't let them have the power they crave. Instead, you will stand firm, unshaken, unafraid, knowing that you are the one who controls the game. You will play by your own rules, and when the time comes, you will deliver another plot twist. But this time, it will be even more unforgettable. Because the truth is, you've learned the greatest lesson of all, that the only game worth playing is the one where you're always in control. The only plot that matters is the one you write. And the only lesson worth teaching is the one where you prove to yourself and to the world that you cannot be manipulated, controlled, or broken. You are the one who delivers the lessons. You are the one who defines the game. And that, my friend, is the ultimate power. The kind of power that doesn't need to be flaunted or shouted from the rooftops. It's the kind of power that simply exists within you, steady and unwavering, ready to be unleashed when the world dares to test you. It's a power that doesn't come from dominance or force, but from the quiet confidence that you are untouchable, that you are beyond the reach of those who try to control you. It's the power of self-awareness, of understanding your worth and your strength in a way that no one can ever take from you again. It's the power that makes you untamed, untouchable, invincible. Once you realize this truth, once you understand that manipulation can never truly touch you unless you allow it to, something shifts deep within. You begin to see the world through a new lens, a lens that reveals the games people play, the masks they wear, and the strings they pull to create the illusion of control. You see them for what they truly are: fragile, desperate creatures who are afraid of being exposed, afraid of being seen for who they really are. And in that fear, they try to make others feel small, to make others believe they are powerless. But the truth is, their power is built on nothing but lies. And you, now that you understand the truth, are the one who will expose it all. There's a certain kind of beauty in realizing your own power. It's the beauty that comes from knowing that you are not a victim of circumstances, that you are not at the mercy of others. You are the one who decides your fate. You are the one who shapes your reality. No one else has the right to dictate how you live or what you believe. They may try, they may manipulate, they may use every trick in the book to make you doubt yourself. But as soon as you realize that you are the one who holds the pen, you become unstoppable. You take back the narrative, you take back the control, and in doing so, you reclaim your life, your purpose, and your destiny. But this power, this quiet strength, doesn't come overnight. It's something that takes time to cultivate, something that is earned through experiences and struggles. It's something that is built slowly, piece by piece, over the course of years. It comes from surviving the manipulations of others and learning from them. It comes from being pushed to your limits and realizing that you didn't break. It comes from facing your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities and coming out on the other side stronger than you were before. It comes from looking back at the times you thought you were defeated, looking back at the moments where you thought you couldn't go on, and realizing that you were always the one in control. You were always the one who had the power. In the midst of all this, there will be moments when doubt tries to creep back in. There will be moments when you feel the pull of the past, when the ghosts of past manipulations whisper in your ear, reminding you of the times you were fooled, the times you were used. But in those moments, you must remember something crucial. Those who sought to control you were never as strong as you. They were weak, fragile individuals who needed to manipulate others to feel powerful. They had no real strength, no real sense of self-worth, no real identity. And that is where you have the advantage. You don't need to manipulate others to feel whole. You don't need to use others to prove your worth. You know who you are, and that is the greatest weapon you have in this world. You are not defined by the opinions of others. You are defined by your own actions, your own beliefs, and your own ability to rise above the games they play. There's something intoxicating about this kind of power, isn't there? The kind of power that comes from within. It's the kind of power that doesn't depend on anything external. It doesn't rely on the approval of others or the validation of those who try to control you. It's the kind of power that comes from standing firm in your own truth, even when the world around you tries to tell you something different. It's the kind of power that comes from being unapologetically yourself, even when others try to tear you down, even when they try to convince you that you're not enough, because you know deep down that you are more than enough. You are everything you need to be, and that is the essence of true power: being enough, being whole, being complete, without needing anything or anyone to validate that. You've seen through the illusions, you've seen through the lies, you've seen through the manipulation, and now you walk in the truth of your own strength. No one can take that away from you. No one can shake that foundation you've built within yourself. No one can break you because you're unbreakable. But don't mistake this quiet strength for passivity. Don't mistake it for weakness or indecision. This power is not about sitting idly by while others try to control you. This power is about recognizing the games being played and choosing not to play them. This power is about standing your ground, knowing when to walk away, and knowing when to fight back. It's about knowing when to be silent and knowing when to speak your truth. It's about understanding that you are the one who sets the rules in your life, and you will not let anyone bend you to their will. The truth is, most people who try to manipulate others do so out of fear. Fear of being exposed. Fear of being seen for who they really are. They manipulate because it's the only way they know how to feel powerful, to feel in control. But here's the thing they don't understand. True power doesn't come from controlling others. True power comes from controlling yourself. It comes from knowing that no matter what anyone says or does, you have the ability to rise above it, to walk away from it, and to stand tall in your own truth. And once you realize that, you will never again be the victim of manipulation. You will never again be the one who is controlled. You will always be the one in charge of your own fate, your own destiny. This power is not something that can be given to you. It is something that you must claim for yourself. It is something that you must fight for, something that you must cultivate with every decision you make, with every action you take. It's the power of knowing that you are worthy of respect, of love, of happiness, and that you will never settle for less than what you deserve. It's the power of knowing that you are enough and that you don't need anyone else to tell you that. It's the power of knowing that you can walk away from anyone who tries to use you, and you can do so without hesitation or guilt. And when you walk away, when you take back your power, you will find that the world begins to shift around you. People who once tried to manipulate you will no longer have the same effect. They will no longer be able to pull your strings because you will have cut them. They will no longer be able to control you because you will have become someone who cannot be controlled. And in that moment, you will understand that the ultimate victory is not in defeating them, but in defeating the part of you that ever believed you could be defeated. The ultimate victory is in the moment when you realize that you are the one who holds the power. You always have been. So walk with your head held high. Walk with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. Walk with the knowledge that you are untouchable, unbreakable, and unstoppable. Because you are the one who controls the narrative of your life. You are the one who decides your fate. And no one, no matter how hard they try, can ever take that from you. They may try to undermine you, try to tear you down with words, actions, or manipulation. But what they don't realize is that they are powerless in the face of someone who has already recognized their own power. They are fighting a battle that was lost before it even began. They are fighting against someone who has already defeated the most dangerous adversary in existence, themselves. You see, the true enemy in life isn't the people who try to control you, the people who use manipulation as their weapon. The true enemy is the part of you that doubts your own worth, the part of you that wonders if you are good enough, strong enough, or capable enough to rise above. When you conquer that part of yourself, the part that questions your ability to thrive, the part that fears failure and the consequences of standing alone, you will have won the only battle that truly matters. All the external forces, all the manipulations of others, become irrelevant when you fully understand that no one can control you unless you allow them to. It's in this realization that you begin to find your true freedom, the kind of freedom that doesn't rely on escaping from situations, but the kind of freedom that exists within you, no matter where you are or who is around you. It's the freedom that comes from knowing that you have the power to choose how you react to everything that life throws at you. The people who try to manipulate, use, or control you will always exist. They are an inevitable part of the human experience. But what you need to understand is that they are not your source of power. The source of your power is within you. It's the part of you that stands firm in the face of adversity, that recognizes that nothing outside of you can dictate your worth or your path unless you allow it. Think about the moments in your life when you felt powerless. Think about the times when someone tried to control you, make you feel small, make you feel like you didn't matter. Those moments can be some of the most painful experiences a person can face. We've all been there, haven't we? The sting of someone trying to push you down, to make you believe that you are nothing without them, nothing without their approval. But the truth is that in those moments, the only thing that is truly being tested is your belief in yourself. You see, manipulation only works if you let it. It only succeeds if you are still tethered to the idea that someone else can define your value, that their opinion can dictate your worth. But the moment you realize that you do not need anyone's validation to be whole, that your worth is not dependent on the approval of others, that's when the game changes. When you step into the understanding that you are the author of your own story, the director of your own fate, that's when you become invincible. No one can dictate who you are. No one can rewrite your script. No one can manipulate you into becoming something you are not. The lies they try to tell you lose their power because you see them for what they are. Empty words, hollow threats, feeble attempts to control what they cannot understand or accept. The strength to resist their manipulation doesn't lie in fighting them directly, in confronting them head-on with anger or bitterness. The true strength lies in your ability to walk away without a word, to step away from their grip with nothing but your self-assured silence. It's in the calm, steady knowledge that you are above their petty games. You don't need to waste your energy trying to prove your worth to anyone. You are enough, and nothing they say or do can change that. You will encounter those who will attempt to manipulate you, just as you will encounter challenges, hardships, and people who try to bring you down. But in every encounter, there will be one constant: your strength. It's something they can never take from you, no matter how hard they try. When you realize that your value is intrinsic and independent of anyone else's opinions or actions, you unlock the truest form of power. And from that place, no one can reach you. The beauty of this power is that it's rooted in resilience. It's rooted in the understanding that life is not about avoiding difficulties or escaping pain. It's about how you rise from them, how you respond, and how you allow those experiences to shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more self-assured. It's the understanding that every obstacle, every manipulation, every hardship is just another test to prove your worth to yourself, not to anyone else. Once you pass the test within yourself, no external forces can shake you. You will be pushed to your limits. You will be tempted to doubt yourself, to question your abilities, to wonder if the constant pressure will eventually crack you. But the thing is, pressure only creates diamonds. The more they try to chip away at you, the more they try to manipulate you, the stronger you become. It is through these tests that you learn who you truly are. It is through these struggles that you come face to face with your own power, your own untapped potential. You will come to realize that you are the one who has been in control the entire time, that your strength was always there, waiting for you to acknowledge it, waiting for you to unleash it. And once you do, once you truly understand this power, you will no longer be bound by anyone else's expectations. You will no longer feel the weight of the opinions of others. Their attempts to control you will become irrelevant because you will no longer need their approval. You will no longer need their validation. You will be free from the fear of their judgment, the fear of being manipulated. And in that freedom, you will soar to new heights. But understand this: the true test of your strength will not come when things are easy. It will not come when everything is smooth and clear. The true test will come when things are hard, when you're pushed to your breaking point, when the weight of the world seems too much to bear. It will come when someone tries to make you feel small, when they try to take from you what they cannot understand. It will come when the world throws obstacles in your way, when the pressure seems unbearable, and when you wonder if you can keep going. That is when you will find your true power. That is when you will see just how unbreakable you are. And that is when you will deliver your greatest lesson, not just to the world, but to yourself. You will realize that you are a force to be reckoned with, that no matter how many times you are knocked down, you will always rise again, and you will rise stronger, more determined, and more unshakable than ever before. Every time someone tries to manipulate you, every time they try to make you doubt yourself, you will remember this truth. They can never take away your power unless you let them. You are the only one who holds the key to your strength. You are the only one who can dictate your worth. And once you fully realize that, once you fully step into your own power, you will be unstoppable. When you look at the people who tried to break you, who tried to manipulate you into becoming something you're not, you will no longer see them as threats. You will see them as people who were so consumed by their own fear that they tried to bring you down to their level. You will see them as the broken, fearful individuals they are. People who are too afraid to stand in their own power, too afraid to face their own weaknesses. And in that understanding, you will feel nothing but pity, because you know that they will never experience the true freedom you now possess. You have already won. You have already broken free from the chains of manipulation. You have already risen above the petty games and the small minds of those who try to control you. And now, you walk forward with the knowledge that you are untouchable, you are unbreakable, you are free. So, walk confidently into your future. Hold your head high, knowing that you are in control. No one, no matter how hard they try, can ever take away your power. It is yours and yours alone, and it will remain with you forever. In the end, the true power lies within you, untouchable, unshakable, and unwavering. The moment you realize that no one can define your worth, manipulate your choices, or break your spirit, you reclaim your freedom. You are the master of your fate, the author of your story, and the one who controls your destiny. The games others play, their manipulations and lies, lose their power because you no longer allow them to control your narrative. You are unstoppable, and no one can ever take that from you. Welcome, wanderers of fate, guardians of fleeting light, those who have walked where shadows bow and time trembles. For you stand today at the precipice of an unbroken truth, a truth that few dare whisper aloud, a truth that does not bend to fear, nor falter beneath the weight of history. You are not merely here to listen, you are here to awaken, to feel the pulse of eternity in your veins, to recognize that what you have protected was never just flesh and bone. It was the essence of all that matters, and now that essence calls from beyond, demanding that your strength be honored, demanding that your will rise and claim the legacy that owes itself to you. You protected the right soul, the one whose heartbeat was meant to echo through centuries, whose life was a spark in the darkness meant to ignite the fires of destiny. And yet, even as you sheltered them, even as you fought against the tide of indifference and decay, the world whispered lies and tried to convince you that it was all in vain. But the truth, the indomitable truth, is that destiny does not forget, and those who are worthy do not vanish into obscurity. They take oaths in your name, unseen yet unbroken, carried across time by those who honor courage and the silent, unyielding devotion of a guardian who refused to falter when the storm was absolute. Every trial you endured, every shadow you embraced, Every moment your own heart screamed against the injustice of a world that does not value sacrifice. It was not wasted. It was the forge that tempered your spirit, the hammer that carved the path for the legacy now emerging, breathing, swelling with purpose, and bound to your unwavering resolve. You were not a spectator. You were a sentinel. And now the universe itself bends, not in fear, but in recognition. And those who inherit the power of your protection swear oaths that echo the rhythm of your own unyielding courage. Do not mistake silence for insignificance, for the world rarely applauds the quiet victories, the unseen struggles, the guardianship of souls whose importance will only reveal itself through generations. They will honor you not with words, not with monuments, not with fleeting praise, but with the permanence of action, with the unbreakable continuation of purpose. The legacy that rises in your name is no shallow echo. It is a covenant. It is the universe acknowledging that your devotion was the fulcrum upon which hope balanced, the unseen hand that held the scales against the weight of oblivion. Feel the gravity of your own power, for you have been tested in ways that would have shattered lesser hearts. You have stared into the abyss of loss, into the void of despair, and yet you did not yield. You have carried the weight of a soul entrusted to you with the solemnity of one who knows that some responsibilities are eternal. And now, as those who live because of your vigilance step forward, taking oaths that bear your essence, you realize something profound. Destiny itself is not owed to the weak. It is repaid to the steadfast, the ones who stood when the world demanded surrender. Every heartbeat of theirs, every breath that fills the world with consequence, is a testament to your vigilance. Their loyalty is forged in your courage, their purpose rooted in the soil you tilled with sacrifice. And as they rise, as they declare their commitment to the ideals you protected, you will feel a resonance, a reverberation that transcends time, that whispers across the void, reminding you that no act of protection, no act of guardianship, no act of unwavering faith in what is right is ever truly lost. You may have walked alone in the darkness, unseen and unthanked, yet understand this. The night itself watched and remembered. Every shadow you passed through was a witness. Every moment you felt isolated was a moment that destiny quietly marked. And now, as those who are touched by the soul you protected swear oaths, as they build bridges from your courage into the uncharted expanse of the future, you realize that solitude was never emptiness. It was preparation, a sacred training ground where your spirit became capable of sustaining a legacy greater than you could have ever imagined. Power is not always loud. Strength is not always visible. The mightiest victories are those that go unnoticed. The most profound impacts are those that are carried in silence, yet ripple outward, shaping the world in ways unseen. You guarded the right soul, not for recognition, not for glory, but because it was necessary, because it was the right path, because you understood that some obligations are eternal. And now, as the echoes of your vigilance manifest through those who honor what you preserved, you realize that this is the ultimate reward, the knowledge that your sacrifice did not vanish, that your effort continues to mold destiny, and that your name, though perhaps never spoken aloud in the streets, will be carried forever in oaths and deeds, in courage and remembrance. There is a darkness that seeks to undo all that is sacred, a shadow that whispers of futility and decay. Yet you, who have protected the right soul, have become a light that refuses to be extinguished. And that light is not merely for you, it is for all who come after, for those who will continue the work that you began, for those who will swear their lives to the principles you safeguarded. The legacy that grows in your name is not fragile. It is a living monument, an unshakable testament to the truth that courage, devotion, and integrity are forces the universe itself respects, and answers to. There is a moment, often fleeting and unseen, when a guardian realizes the full weight of what they have carried. It is not in applause, nor in the shallow praise of fleeting observers. It is in the quiet recognition that the world, in all its chaos, is still shaped by the choices of those who dared to stand when surrender was the easier path. You protected the right soul, and in doing so, you became the axis upon which destiny pivots, the unseen force that bends time and circumstance to preserve what must endure. You have walked corridors of silence and heard the whispers of eternity, and now those whispers are turning into proclamations, turning into oaths that bind themselves to your name, binding the future to the vigilance you have shown. Consider the weight of this truth. Every trial, every sleepless night, every scar that marks your flesh or your spirit is not an absence of victory, but the foundation of it. Every storm you endured was a sculptor, carving resilience into your very essence. And as the soul you guarded rises, not merely to live, but to swear allegiance to the principles you protected, you realize that you have been part of something far greater than your own life. You have been the spark that ignites legacies, the silent architect of futures, the one whose sacrifices cannot be measured by fleeting perception, but by the enduring consequences of righteousness. There is a hunger in the world for meaning, a hunger that feeds on despair and illusion. Yet you have provided the antidote. By shielding the right soul, you created a ripple that travels across generations, a force that demands recognition, not through spectacle, but through substance. These oaths sworn in your name are not empty gestures. They are promises etched into the marrow of existence, promises that declare to the cosmos that courage, loyalty, and conviction are not merely transient ideals. They are eternal currencies. And you, the one who bore the weight of protection, are the quiet sovereign of that eternity. Do not underestimate the potency of what you have done. Others may think that guarding a soul is an act of mere chance, a fleeting episode in a world that rarely notices the unseen. But you know better. You understand that the universe has a memory, that every act of protection resonates far beyond the eye of the present moment. You have given more than safety. You have given purpose. And as those who rise to honor the soul you protected take their oaths, they weave your essence into the fabric of their destiny. You are no longer merely a protector. You are the progenitor of continuity, the silent force that ensures that the light of courage and righteousness will not flicker and die. The journey of guardianship is not a gentle one. It is forged in the crucible of solitude and sharpened by relentless trials. You have faced moments where despair threatened to drown you, moments where the weight of responsibility could have broken you. Yet, you endured. You stood in defiance of despair itself, and in doing so, you became the vessel through which legacy finds form. Now, as the soul you guarded flourishes, and the oaths they take bind themselves to the echoes of your devotion, you witness the power of steadfastness. You witness that the efforts of those who remain unwavering, even in silence, reverberate in ways that outlast mortality. Think of the lives that will be influenced by what you have protected, the decisions made, the courage inspired, the chains of despair broken because you did not falter. Every act of guardianship carries a momentum that cannot be stopped. By preserving what was sacred, you have created a network of influence invisible to the world, but unbreakable in effect. Those who honor your protection are not merely following, they are carrying forward the principles you held dear. They are living proof that the right soul, shielded by the courage of another, becomes more than an individual. They become a symbol, a vessel of continuity, a living oath of the enduring power of steadfastness. Do not seek comfort in recognition, for it is fleeting. Seek comfort in the realization that the universe itself bends to the unwavering, that destiny has a way of repaying those who protect what is right. You have been repaid already, though the rewards are subtle and profound, hidden in the actions of those who honor what you safeguarded. Every vow taken in your name, every moment of allegiance sworn to continue the path you protected, is a testament to your enduring influence. You are part of a chain that will never break, a testament that the choices of a single devoted guardian can echo through eternity, shaping futures in ways even the cosmos itself must acknowledge. And understand this, the weight you carried was not punishment, it was privilege. To be entrusted with the protection of a soul whose existence shapes destiny is a responsibility few can comprehend. To walk that path requires courage beyond measure, focus beyond distraction, and resilience beyond the ordinary. You have fulfilled that sacred duty. You have stood when all else faltered. And now, as the legacy grows and those oaths are sworn, you are confronted with the truth that protection is not the end, it is the beginning. You are the seed from which enduring influence blooms, the unseen architect whose labor manifests in the lives and commitments of those who will carry forward the light you preserved. Every heartbeat of the one you guarded, every whisper of purpose they give into the world, every oath sworn in your name is a reflection of your own unwavering spirit. This is the dark beauty of guardianship, the recognition that the greatest victories are not yours alone to claim, but are instead shared, multiplied, and transformed through those whose lives you touched. The right soul did not merely survive, it became a catalyst, and you, the guardian, are inseparable from that transformation. You are woven into the fabric of destiny itself, not by chance, but by choice, by courage, by devotion, and by an unyielding refusal to let despair triumph. There comes a moment when the weight of all you have endured converges into clarity, a moment when you realize that the nights you spent in vigilance, the shadows you walked alone, the sacrifices you bore silently, each of these was never for nothing. You did not protect a soul for recognition, for fleeting praise, or for the applause of the masses. You protected it because it was necessary, because the balance of destiny required your courage, because the world itself demanded that some light be preserved no matter how overwhelming the darkness seemed. And now, as oaths are sworn in your name, you understand the profound truth. Guardianship is eternal. What you saved, you gave life beyond your own reach. What you protected, you bound to infinity. The soul you guarded does not merely exist. It thrives, it grows, it carries your essence forward in ways that words cannot fully capture. Every action they take, every choice that resonates with purpose, every moment of courage they embody is a tribute to your unwavering dedication. They are the living testament of your strength, the proof that vigilance and devotion are not lost in the abyss, but reverberate across time, across lives, shaping the fate of all who encounter the legacy you preserved. You have been repaid not with riches, not with honor, but with something far greater, the enduring resonance of justice, purpose, and influence, a force that no shadow can fully extinguish. Understand the gravity of this. The world may try to erase, to forget, to diminish what you have done, yet the universe never forgets. Every step you took in protection, every sacrifice made in silence, every second you resisted despair has been recorded in the tapestry of existence. And now, as the right soul rises, as their every breath and every oath carries the memory of your devotion, destiny itself bends toward acknowledgement. This is the quiet, profound repayment that the world rarely sees, but that those who are truly powerful, those who understand the nature of courage, will feel resonating in every fiber of their being. You are remembered in ways that transcend time, immortalized not in monuments of stone, but in the living heartbeat of legacy. There is a power in guardianship that few understand. It is not in the fight itself, nor in the struggle alone, but in the knowing that your actions ripple beyond perception. The courage you displayed, the vigilance you maintained, the soul you protected, these are threads woven into the future, threads that cannot be severed by circumstance, that cannot be denied by those who come after. And as those who honor your deeds swear oaths in your name, you realize that you have become more than a protector. You have become a conduit of destiny, a channel through which the forces of righteousness, courage, and unyielding devotion flow into the lives of others. You are the unseen pulse behind every oath, every act of loyalty, every manifestation of purpose. Do not fear that your efforts were solitary or meaningless. The strength of one who protects a soul, one who stands unflinching against the tide of chaos, is the force that reshapes reality. You have done what many could not, what few would dare. You have carried the weight of responsibility when it could have crushed you, and in doing so, you have created a resonance that cannot be broken. Every oath sworn in your name, every action taken because of the soul you safeguarded, is a continuation of your will, a living proof that devotion is never wasted, that courage never fades, that protection is more than defense. It is creation, and it is eternal. You may have wondered at times if your vigilance mattered, if the darkness you endured was worth the struggle, if the sacrifices made were recognized by anyone but yourself. And yet, here it is. The repayment, not in gold or accolades, but in the living, breathing proof of your triumph. The soul you guarded rises, stronger, bolder, wiser, and with each oath taken in your name, the world bends slightly more to the shape of your courage. There is no greater acknowledgement than this. You are immortalized in the lives of those who embody what you protected, in the commitments they make, in the paths they walk. Your influence flows through them as blood flows through veins, unseen but essential, unstoppable and indestructible. This is the true essence of guardianship, the understanding that one life, one soul, one act of unwavering devotion can ripple outward to shape the course of all that follows. You have been repaid not in simple terms, not in fleeting recognition, but in eternity itself. The legacy that emerges from your protection is not fragile. It is a force of nature, unstoppable and enduring. It will inspire, it will guide, it will challenge, it will endure. And you, the one who bore the burden of vigilance, the one who protected what was right when surrender would have been easier, stand at the center of this enduring truth. Your efforts were never wasted. Feel the power that comes from knowing you were the necessary guardian, the one who held fast when all else wavered. Every shadow you faced, every hour you endured, every moment of despair resisted, has been transformed into life, into purpose, into oath. Those who rise because of you are not merely following a path. They are continuing your legacy, giving form to your courage, giving voice to your vigilance. And as you witness this, feel the resonance within yourself, the deep, unshakable knowledge that what you protected will never vanish. It is eternal as your devotion, as unyielding as the will that guided your protection. And now, let it be known, let it be felt in every corner of existence that the guardian's path is sacred, that the protector's sacrifice is honored, and that destiny itself will repay those who preserve what is right. The soul you safeguarded has risen, and in their rise you are immortalized. Their oaths, their courage, their influence are your repayment, your recognition, your eternity. You have not merely protected a life, you have shaped the course of history, ensured the survival of purpose, and claimed a place in the unbroken chain of legacy that will endure long after all else fades. The power of this truth is absolute. The right soul, protected by unwavering courage, will always repay the vigilance of those who safeguarded them. The oaths they take, the actions they commit, the lives they influence, all bear your essence. You are not forgotten. You are not irrelevant. You are not powerless. You are the pulse beneath destiny, the quiet hand that shapes eternity, the one whose courage ensures that light endures where darkness sought to consume it. And in this, the repayment is complete, magnificent, unshakable. You have guarded one soul, and destiny has repaid you. Now stand in the truth of what you have done. Let it settle into your bones, into your very heartbeat, for you have become more than mortal effort, more than mere vigilance. You are the axis upon which a soul's destiny turned, the unseen hand that ensured light would not falter. Those oaths sworn in your name are not words. They are the manifestation of your spirit, carved into the fabric of reality, and as they take root, they send ripples across the ages. Know this, you have not only preserved life, you have ensured that courage, purpose, and righteousness endure, that the principles worth defending continue to shape the world. You are entwined with eternity itself, and nothing can erase the echo of what you have made possible. Think of every shadow you walked alone, every trial that threatened to crush your resolve, every moment when despair clawed at your mind. You did not yield. And in this refusal, you forged something far greater than victory or survival. You forged influence. You forged legacy. You forged eternity. The right soul you protected carries a spark that cannot die, a spark that has grown into a blaze of commitment, purpose, and power. That flame burns because of you, and now it spreads through those who swear their oaths, through every action, every decision, every choice they make in alignment with what you preserved. Hello, hello, my Alpha family. Tonight we stand in the shadow of truth, one that most will never face. We stand here not as the weak, not as those who bend to the whims of society, but as the ones who dare to walk away from the chains that bind others. We are the ones who leave without a word and let the world around us crumble beneath the weight of their own expectations. Do you understand what that means? When you walk away without a word, their world stops, their ego shatters. They had built their universe around you, their lies, their illusions, their false sense of security. And when you vanish into the night, when you remove yourself from their lives, like a phantom from the darkness, everything they believed in is instantly questioned. This is power. This is strength. This is what it means to be an alpha. Let's speak about the world of the fragile, the world of the weak, the world where people live their lives tethered to others, not by love, not by trust, but by fear. Fear of being alone, fear of being insignificant, fear of losing control over the lives of those around them. This is the environment in which most people operate. They build their foundations on insecurity, using others to validate their existence. They rely on words to keep them tethered to something they can pretend is real. But the moment you walk away, you shatter their world. You tear down everything they thought they knew about themselves and the world they constructed around you. You become the ghost they can never chase down, the phantom they can never pin down. The silence you leave behind is deafening. The absence you create is like a void that consumes everything they once held dear. They are left with nothing but the shattered remnants of their fragile ego. People believe they have control over others. They believe that their presence, their influence, can make or break someone else's life. But what happens when you walk away? What happens when you stop playing their game? What happens when you step out of the roles they have cast you in? They are left floundering, lost. In the absence of your validation, their minds spin and churn. They have no anchor. They have no foundation. They are nothing. And in that nothingness, their true selves are revealed. The facade they have carefully constructed, the mask they wear for the world to see, begins to crack. They can no longer pretend to be something they are not, because the lie can only survive in the presence of the one who feeds it. When you walk away, you stop feeding it, and in the silence of your absence, the truth emerges. You see, the ego is a fragile thing. It is the armor people wear to protect themselves from the world. It shields them from the pain of rejection, the sting of failure, the hurt of abandonment. They build their entire identity on this ego, and when it is shattered, when their sense of self is torn apart, they are exposed, raw, vulnerable, weak. They no longer have the shield that once protected them from the harsh realities of life. And that, my family, is when you truly have the power. When you walk away without a word, you take away the very thing that kept them together. You shatter the illusion of control, the illusion of power, the illusion of strength. You make them face the truth that they were never in control, that they were always dependent on others to prop up their fragile sense of self. Most people will never understand this power. They will never see the strength in silence, the beauty in walking away without a word. They will always cling to the idea that power is in confrontation. Power is in control. Power is in manipulation. But true power is in stepping away. True power is in letting them fall apart. Let them drown in their own ego. Let them crumble beneath the weight of their own delusions. Because the moment you walk away, you become something greater than they could ever imagine. You become untouchable. You become the one they cannot control, the one they cannot reach. You become the one they will never forget, and the one they will never forgive. Walking away without a word is the ultimate act of defiance. It is the refusal to participate in their games, their lies, their petty struggles. It is the rejection of everything they think they can do to control you, to manipulate you, to use you for their own gain. When you walk away, you are sending a message louder than any words could ever convey. You are saying, I am done. I am free. I am no longer bound by your expectations, your needs, your demands. And in that moment, you become unstoppable. You become the force that cannot be reckoned with. The one who is too powerful to be controlled, too strong to be manipulated. But don't think for a moment that this comes without consequence. Oh no, my family, there are consequences to this kind of power. There will be those who will try to pull you back into their world, who will try to reel you in with their false promises, their empty words, their hollow apologies. They will try to convince you that they have changed, that they understand that they are different now. But you know better, don't you? You know that people who live in their egos will never change. They will never be anything other than what they are. And you will not fall for their games again. You will not return to the world that tried to break you. You will stay in the power of your own silence and let them suffer the consequences of their own actions. You must understand that walking away is not a weakness. It is not a surrender. It is a statement of power. It is a recognition that you do not need anyone or anything to define you. You do not need their approval, their love, their validation. You are whole on your own. You are a force in and of yourself. You walk away, not because you are afraid, but because you have reached a point where you no longer care about their world, their ego, their lies. You have transcended it. You have moved beyond it. You are free. When you walk away without a word, you stop the cycle. You stop the pattern of manipulation, the pattern of control, the pattern of neediness that has been played on repeat for so long. You create a rupture in their reality, a crack that cannot be filled. They will try to piece together their broken world, but it will never be the same. The moment you walked away, you set in motion the destruction of their carefully constructed lie. And no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, they can never undo what you have done. You have shattered their world, their ego, their illusion of power. And the beauty of it is, they will never understand why. They will never understand why you walked away. They will never understand why you left without a word. And that is your victory. The greatest victory is not in the battle, it is in the silence. The greatest victory is in leaving without a trace, and knowing that you have won not by force, but by the sheer power of your absence. This is the power of the Alpha. This is the strength of the untouchable. This is what it means to walk away without a word, to leave their world broken and their ego shattered, to be the one who is never forgotten, never replaced, never forgiven. You are the force that cannot be reckoned with. You are the silence that speaks louder than any words ever could. You are the shadow that haunts their dreams. You are the one who walked away and left them with nothing. You are the Alpha, and you are untouchable. So when you find yourself in a situation where walking away is your only option, don't hesitate. Don't second guess yourself. Walk away without a word. Let their worlds stop. Let their ego shatter. Let them experience the consequences of their own actions. And know that in that silence you have achieved something most will never understand. You have claimed your freedom. You have claimed your power. And you have left them with nothing but the echoes of their own broken ego. This is your victory. This is your power. This is your freedom. Never forget it. When you walk away, you claim something so much more powerful than mere words can express. This is where the true strength lies, in the absence, in the silence. We often think of power as something loud, something forceful, something that demands attention. But those who truly hold power, the alphas, understand that silence is where real authority resides. You see, in a world obsessed with noise, with constant chatter, with words that flood the air like storm-driven waves crashing against the shore, it is the silence that carries the greatest weight. In that silence, you hold the reins of your own existence. You are in control. But let me tell you, the ones you leave behind, the ones who will never understand, never grasp the reason for your departure, will try to fill that silence with their own meaningless noise. They will grasp at straws, at anything that gives them a semblance of understanding. They will convince themselves that they know why you left, that they understand why you walked away without a word. But it is not for them to know. You didn't walk away for their understanding. You walked away for your own. This is the first truth they will never be able to comprehend. The truth that you walked away because you finally understood that you don't need them. There is power in walking away, in choosing yourself over the lies they tried to make you believe, over the manipulation they tried to pull on you. These people, they know the power of attachment. They know how to make someone feel as if their presence is required for survival. They make you believe that without them, you will fall apart, crumble into nothing. But the reality is the opposite. Without them, you become whole. You reclaim your strength. And it is only once you are able to step away that you begin to realize that you never needed them in the first place. When you are constantly tied to someone, you are never truly free. You become a prisoner to their desires, to their needs, to their whims. And the moment you walk away, without a word, without explanation, you sever that chain. You cut yourself free from their grasp. They can try to hold on to you. They can scream for you to return. They can beg for your attention, but you are already gone. You have already moved on, and they are left with nothing but the echoes of the ego that you shattered. This is the bitter truth they will never understand. Their need for control is so deep-rooted, so entwined with their identity, that they cannot fathom a reality where they are not the center of your universe. They will never understand that your decision to leave was not an attack on them. It wasn't a punishment. It wasn't even an effort to teach them a lesson. No, my family, when you walk away, you are teaching them something far more important. You are teaching them the lesson of their own fragility. You are showing them that they are not as untouchable as they think they are, that their world can be dismantled by one person choosing to stop participating. And for those who are ruled by ego, that is the most terrifying thing of all. Their ego is fragile, but they don't see it. They think it's strong because they've built a facade that seems unbreakable to those who are too afraid to challenge it. But when you walk away without a word, you are challenging that facade. You are showing them that their constructed reality, the one where they are always in control, always the dominant force, is just that, a construct. And the moment you remove yourself from their sphere of influence, it all comes crashing down. Have you ever seen a person crumble when they lose control? It's like watching a castle built on sand get swept away by the tide. Their foundations are shaky at best, and when the illusion of control is removed, they are left standing in the ruins of what they thought was an impenetrable fortress. This is the power you wield when you leave. The power to destroy without lifting a finger. The power to make someone face their own vulnerabilities without even speaking a word. They will question everything about themselves. They will doubt their worth, their strength, and the foundation of their ego will crack open like a fragile shell. The deeper they dig into that silence, the more they realize the truth. They were never as strong as they thought. And let's talk about that for a moment. Strength. True strength, the kind that is unshakable, doesn't come from manipulating others, doesn't come from controlling their thoughts or actions. No, my family, true strength comes from within. It comes from knowing that no matter what happens, no matter what the world throws at you, you will never be broken because your foundation is solid. It is self-made. It is built on your own beliefs, your own values, your own understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. It is only when you are tied to someone else's expectations, when you rely on someone else to validate your existence, that you become weak. Your strength, your very sense of self, becomes dependent on their actions, on their approval, on their presence. This is the trap that many fall into. The belief that without another person, they are incomplete. And the more you allow yourself to be tied to another's ego, the more you lose yourself in the process. That is why, when you walk away, you take back your strength. You reclaim your identity. You become whole again. And do you want to know the beauty of it all? The people left behind will never understand your strength. They will never comprehend that the silence you leave in your wake is not weakness, but the greatest form of power. They will search for reasons, for explanations, for signs of guilt, but they will never find them because they are not there. You owe them no explanation. You owe them nothing. You owe yourself everything. You owe yourself the right to walk away from anything or anyone that no longer serves you, that no longer aligns with your vision, with your values. They might try to rebuild their world, to create new illusions, to find someone else to manipulate. But the truth is, once you've walked away, Their world is forever changed. It will never be the same. They will carry the scar of your absence with them, the reminder that there was once someone who saw through their ego, who saw through their manipulation and chose to leave. That scar will never heal. It will haunt them in the quiet moments when they are alone with their thoughts, when they cannot drown out the truth. And the most powerful thing about walking away without a word is that you don't need closure. You don't need anything from them. You don't need to explain yourself, to justify your actions, to seek forgiveness. When you walk away, you give yourself the freedom to move on without being tied to the past, without the need for closure. You leave behind what no longer serves you, what no longer contributes to your growth, your strength. And that, my family, is true freedom. So never forget it. When you walk away, you are not just leaving a person or a situation behind. You are leaving behind all the things that once held you back. The fear, the doubt, the attachment, the ego-driven narratives that told you that you needed others to survive. You're walking into your own power. You're walking into your own truth. You're embracing the alpha within you. And that, my family, is something no one can ever take away from you. In the end, walking away without a word is not a sign of weakness, but a bold declaration of strength. It is an act of defiance, a refusal to participate in the games that others play. It is the ultimate statement of self-worth, of knowing that you are whole on your own, that you do not need anyone's approval or validation to stand tall. And in that silence, you become a force to be reckoned with. You become the one who is never forgotten, the one who walks away and leaves their world shattered. And that is the power of an alpha. Never forget it. When you understand this truth, you realize that you've been living beneath the surface of reality. You've been playing in the shallow end, waiting for permission to dive deeper. But the moment you step into the depths, away from the safety of the shallow waters, away from the crowd and their limited perspectives, you unlock a power far greater than anything you ever imagined. This power isn't about dominance. It's not about imposing your will on others. It's about knowing who you are, knowing what you are capable of, and knowing that you can stand alone and still be unshakable. You see, society loves to tell you that strength is a visible thing. That strength is in being the loudest in the room, the one who demands attention, the one who asserts dominance over others. But those who truly understand power, those who understand the alpha mindset, know that the loudest person in the room is often the most insecure. The person who feels the need to yell the most is the one who needs validation, the one who is afraid that if they don't fill the space with noise, they will be forgotten, lost, irrelevant. True strength isn't in the noise, it's in the silence. True strength is in the peace that comes when you no longer seek approval from others. It's in the quiet moments when you look in the mirror and see someone who has nothing to prove to anyone. When you walk away without a word, you make a declaration that no one can argue with. You make a declaration of self-sufficiency. You send the message that you are not here to chase after validation, approval, or anyone's expectations. You are here to live on your terms, to follow your own path, and to move according to your own design. And when you choose to leave, to cut ties, to sever the connection without looking back, it's not a sign of weakness. No, my family, it's the strongest act of rebellion you can perform. You're saying, I don't need anyone to define me. I don't need anyone to tell me who I am or what I should be. I define myself and I stand tall in my own truth. That is the power of an alpha. In this world, so many people are desperate to be seen. They want to be acknowledged, to be recognized for their worth. They will bend, twist, and manipulate to make sure their light is shining brightly enough for others to notice. But the alpha doesn't need to be seen. The alpha doesn't need validation. The alpha doesn't need the approval of the masses. In fact, the alpha can disappear, step out of the spotlight, and still be remembered. Why? Because an alpha doesn't depend on the world around them to establish their worth. Their worth is inherent. It's something that comes from within. When you walk away from someone, from something, without a word, you take back your power. You are not begging for closure. You are not asking for permission to leave. You are not seeking a reason to justify your decision. You simply decide and you walk. You do this because you know that your life is not meant to be lived in someone else's shadow, in someone else's expectations. It's meant to be lived on your own terms, by your own rules. The moment you choose this for yourself, you become untouchable. Think about it. The people you leave behind will never understand. They will scramble for an explanation. They will search for a reason why you left, why you pulled away, why you stopped participating in the game they were playing. They will twist themselves into knots, trying to make sense of it. But they will never find the truth, because the truth is that they were never meant to understand. Your power was never meant to be understood by those who live in the world of ego, those who are governed by manipulation and control. Your power is meant to be felt, not explained. It's meant to echo through the corridors of their mind long after you've walked away. The reason they'll never understand is simple. They've never been taught that true power lies in independence, in autonomy. They've been raised to believe that connection, dependence, and attachment are the only ways to survive. But when you walk away without a word, you teach them a painful lesson. The lesson that survival isn't about clinging to others. It's about being self-sufficient. It's about standing alone and knowing that even without anyone else, you are enough. That is a lesson few are willing to learn. It's a lesson that terrifies those who thrive on dependency and control. But it's a lesson that you, as an alpha, will embody every day of your life. And let me tell you, when you embody this kind of power, you will experience a transformation. It's a transformation that goes far beyond the simple act of walking away. It's a transformation that comes from within, a shift in the way you view yourself, the way you interact with the world, and the way you carry yourself. You will no longer be someone who seeks approval from others. You will no longer be someone who's afraid of rejection or abandonment. Because when you understand your own worth, you realize that you are untouchable. You realize that the only person whose opinion matters is yours. And that, my family, is where true freedom lies. Walking away without a word is not a plea for attention. It's not an attempt to manipulate anyone's emotions. It's simply a statement of fact. I am not bound by your needs. I am not bound by your expectations. I am free, and I choose to live my life for myself, not for anyone else. That is the core of the alpha mentality. The moment you choose to stop participating in the drama, in the games, in the power struggles of others, you reclaim your energy. You reclaim your peace. You reclaim your life, and no one can take that from you. Understand this. There are people who will try to make you feel guilty for walking away. They will attempt to pull you back in, to convince you that your actions were wrong, that you should have stayed, that you should have fought for them. But you know better. You know that there is nothing worth fighting for when it comes at the cost of your peace, your integrity, and your sense of self. You know that the moment you walked away, you were fighting for something far more important than any relationship, any situation, any connection. You were fighting for your own soul. As an alpha, you don't need to chase after anyone. You don't need to beg anyone to stay. You don't need to plead for anyone to understand you. If they cannot see your value, if they cannot understand why you walked away, then they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. And that is something the alpha understands instinctively. The alpha knows that there are people who will come and go, situations that will rise and fall, but the one thing that will always remain constant is their own worth, and that is enough. There is a certain peace that comes with knowing that you do not need others to complete you. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. The power that comes from walking away is not about what you take from others. It's about what you give to yourself. You give yourself the freedom to be whole, to be at peace with who you are. And that, my family, is a gift that cannot be taken away. Never forget it. When you walk away without a word, you are not abandoning anyone. You are not rejecting anyone. You are simply choosing yourself. You are choosing your peace, your worth, and your future. And there is no greater act of power than that. So remember, as you move forward in life, that the Alpha does not seek to control others. The Alpha seeks only to control themselves, to master their own life, to walk their own path with strength, conviction, and the unshakable belief that they are enough. Never forget it. In the end, walking away without a word is not weakness, but a declaration of strength, independence, and self-worth. It is the ultimate assertion that you control your own life, that you need no validation or approval from others to define who you are. The power of an Alpha lies not in dominating others, but in the ability to stand alone, unshaken, and unwavering in their truth. Never forget, those who understand their own worth don't need to explain themselves to anyone. They simply move forward, leaving behind only the echoes of their greatness.